Hey guys, what's up? This is Blaze the Movie Fan and it's time for another commentary video. This time I will be doing a commentary on Sxephil. Yeah, I have done commentaries on many people that I don't like, that goes without saying. But I haven't done a commentary on Sxephil yet. And I was looking up commentaries on Sxephil, and apparently I'm the first one to make a commentary on Sxephil. Enough talking, let's just get the video started.
This is a news show.
That intro is fucking awesome, I will say that right off the bat. But unfortunately, I think his intro is about the only good thing about his fucking video.
Sup nation, hope you're having an awesome Thursday.
Yes, I am having a very awesome day, thank you very much.
My name, of course, is Philip DeFranco, and let's jump into news, tap stuff, and things that matter to me today.
I really don't care what matter to you.
Also, nation, if you're wondering about the dress shirt and the tie, it's not that I'm taking myself crazy serious, it's that I'm being fit for my final suit for the RNC and the DNC today.
Oh my god, I really don't care.
That is, unless the tropical storm they say may hit Tampa does hit Tampa, in which case the RNC will likely be postponed, and if you have an invite that you'd like to pass along to a hurricane party, I would maybe accept one of those. Also, if you don't know what a hurricane party is, you've never lived in the southeast.
Just for the hell of it, I decided to Google hurricane party to check out what it is. And yeah, I don't really care about that stuff.
But since I do have the time, I would like to open the first story of the day with an impression of a TV anchor. Welcome, it is Thursday, August 23rd. Naked photos of Prince Harry during a Vegas rager have shocked a nation. More on that and more things that did not matter at the top of the hour here on CNN.
Oh please, you are nothing like CNN. It is the difference between you and CNN. CNN is an entertaining news source. You're not. CNN has news reporters that know how to tell the news and be entertaining at the same time. You don't.
But nation, the first thing I actually do want to talk about is the Prince Harry business, because I don't understand why it's such a big deal.
Well, obviously you are making a big deal out of it since you made a fucking video about it, you fucking hypocrite.
Reportedly, Prince Harry's in Vegas with two buddies. He meets some girls, they take them back to their VIP room at the Encore, much like a Prince Harry do.
That's actually a very interesting story. Unfortunately, it's just the news story itself that is interesting, not the fact that it's coming from you.
And then a huge failure on the part of Prince Harry's security and handlers. They did not ask for the girl's phone. Sources saying those guys were more interested in partying rather than actually protecting Harry from himself.
What kind of a security is that?
Then because it's Vegas, the next thing you know, they're playing strip pool and Harry gets buck naked and people start taking pictures. Then those pictures end up all over the internet, but not in British newspapers, which was very interesting.
What the hell is interesting about the fact that it's not in a British newspaper? Why the hell does it even matter?
There are two main pictures, one where Harry is cupping his royal jewels from sight with his hands, and another picture where he blocked the view of his jewels with a lady's booty.
Were those photos supposed to be funny? Because they fucking weren't.
Really, this information, the outrage and the crazy headlines aside, the only news you have is Prince Harry is a completely normal guy enjoying his 20s and taking advantage of his situation in life.
Wow, that impression or whatever the fuck that was supposed to be just sucked.
I mean, what did he bring shame upon or tarnish? It's not like he's running the country. He's a member of the British Army, he goes to a ton of ceremonies, he heads up charities, which, by the way, Prince Harry created and runs his own charity that helps orphans with AIDS. And boom, Prince Harry automatically wins. You can't bash a guy who runs a charity that helps out orphans with AIDS.
Actually, you can.
Honestly, that charity's genius. It's like, one, you're actually helping out people that really need help, and two, that's like an automatic panty dropper. So main point, leave little Harry alone. If this story does anything, it just makes me kind of want to party with him.
Please do that, because that would be a much better use of your time than making a shitty news show.
Nation, next up, something I have to share because I know that you guys like my recommendations every now and then.
Honestly, I don't care what you recommend.
You know, some of you said you started watching Breaking Bad, Doctor Who, you played Burrito Bison Revenge for a very long time, and today I need to share The Borderlands with you. And no, I don't mean Borderlands or Borderlands 2, I mean The Borderlands, which is a demake of Borderlands 2. It is a retro-styled browser game which is 100% free and awesome.
I know I said this several times already in this video, but god damn it, I like repeating myself, so I'm just going to say it again. I honestly don't care about that game.
Start as one of the 4 characters, all with their own different strengths, and you just kill stuff. Sometimes when you kill stuff, boxes appear and you can get a new weapon. Then you go back to killing stuff, you rinse, you repeat, you keep wasting your day. And I really only have 2 things to say. 1, to 2K games, this game is awesome and it shouldn't just be a browser game. Please, please, please turn this into a mobile game.
This video is so fucking boring.
And 2, for those of you that play the game after you watch this video, do not ever pick up a gun that says random. It is the worst thing in the world. And that's because that gun shoots in a random direction anytime you shoot it because they were like, hey, why don't we make the worst gun ever? That should be a thing.
Don't worry, I will not pick that up because I'm not playing the game anyway.
Nation, I have to talk about the amazing science news. Researchers at Johns Hopkins have discovered an efficient and totally safe way to take adult blood cells and revert them back to the way they were before. Many are saying the discovery could be the thing that opens the door to curing what we think is the uncurable. I mean, we're talking about heart attacks, spinal cord injuries, cancer, and what some people are saying would be further out, eternal youth.
But do you know, this is actually a very interesting discovery. Yeah, I like science as well, but I would much rather hear this from CNN than from you.
Now, the reason why currently stem cell therapy is not something we can do on a large scale is you need actual human embryos. And you know, you take a look back and you see that getting stem cells has been somewhat of a controversial issue. Alternatives have been, you know, getting stem cells out of umbilical cords or taking viruses and reprogramming human cells. The problem with the latter of the two is mutations can occur, i.e. if you actually implement it, it can cause cancer. But with this new method from Johns Hopkins, you know, you don't have to have a creepy grandpa holding onto your umbilical cord after your birth or, you know, using viruses to reprogram cells. The way they explained it is they used electrical pulses to open up holes in the membrane of blood cells that they took out of someone's spinal cord. Then they inject plasmids with 4 genes. If you're lost at this point, just think of BioShock. That'll kind of help you.
Sorry, I'm not saying anything, but honestly, I don't have much to say about this story. This is indeed very interesting, and I am interested in that.
Actually, not really at all, but it will revert the cells back to a primitive stage. They then extract the cells, and then 7 to 14 days later, embryonic stem cells. So what does that mean now? Can I get fixed now? No, sorry. But all this new information has the potential to fast-track stem cell research like we've never seen before. And the grandiose idea of immortality aside, this is huge.
I have to agree with you. Those are indeed huge news.
I mean, if you want to talk about man-made evolution, this is it. Making it so human beings can rise above disease, genetic defects, injuries, that's a whole different game. The main point, I love science.
Yeah, science is very interesting. It's a lot more interesting than you are, that's for sure.
months. And then next up, I have to talk about the very interesting ruling in South Korea where judges have blocked a law requiring real names online, ruling that it restricts freedom of speech. The 8 judges made the unanimous ruling today saying that the law that was put into place 5 years ago does nothing. And the reason this was made a law 5 years ago and the belief behind it was that if you made someone have their real name out there, you would reduce libel, abusive comments, and you would stop the spread of false rumors. So something very important in one of the world's most wired countries. But the court said the law discouraged people from voicing opinions out of concern that they would be punished, adding that it found no proof that the law helped decrease libel or the spread of rumors and false information.
Well, I'm glad to live in a country with freedom of speech.
Critics to the law saying that after it was put into place that it contributed to identity theft like crazy. And the reason I mention this news, 1, it's freedom of speech news, and you know I get a freedom of speech boner every time I see one of these stories, and 2, a lot of people were talking about YouTube about a week or 2 ago, saying that if you wanted to continue using the site in the future, you might end up having to use your full real name. I don't think that's true.
To be honest, I don't think that's true either. Why would YouTube require you to use your real full name online? Personally, I like the name Blaze the Movie a lot more than I like my real name, because my name Blaze the Movie sounds more awesome than my real name.
I can't properly speak on their behalf, but I think YouTube would be very stupid to do that.
Exactly. Now YouTube has done some stupid things like shitty layouts, but I don't think they would do something like this.
I think the furthest that conversation goes is if you have a YouTube account, you'll have a Google Plus account that might or might not have your real name. And then keep in mind, how could they actually verify that your name isn't Dick McSuckmaballs? And Nation, I'd love to have your opinion. Currently, I think that, if you want to use your real name or not, that should be up to you. I think having the ability to be anonymous online can be good and bad. I mean, granted, most of the time you are not held accountable for your terrible actions. But at the same time, you can have an opinion that is maybe unpopular, or in your country, you could just get fucked up for having. But if you don't have your name out there, you might not be considered a credible source. So, I mean, I think it goes both ways.
Yeah, being anonymous on the internet is a lot more interesting than revealing too much information about yourself.
I mean, one of the easier things to think about is how would your opinion of WikiLeaks change if you did not know Julian Assange created it? And also think of what groups like Anonymous have done and are capable of doing because they are not known people. And actually, Nation, on the topic of being anonymous, let's move on to our final story that involves some news organizations.
Thank God he is moving on to the final story, which means that this video is thankfully almost over.
Because last week we were making fun of ABC because it was just like thing after thing that they were getting wrong, and it was either because their source wasn't valid or their source was wrong.
Well, anything is a better news source than you are, that's for sure.
But today I'm talking about Fox News for the exact opposite reason. They had their information too correct. And that is because today Fox News released what it claims is the name of the former SEAL Team 6 member who is set to release a book about his personal involvement in the successful mission to capture or kill Osama bin Laden. The book is called No Easy Day, and it was written by the author under the pseudonym Mark Owen due to safety concerns.
Why are we still talking about Osama bin Laden? He is dead.
Those are legitimate safety concerns, whether it's about a retribution attack from the Taliban or even here at home. A Navy spokesman, Lieutenant Commander Chris Sxephil, said, any service member who discloses classified or sensitive information could be subject to prosecution. As far as if there is classified information in this book, it has not been vetted by the White House or the Pentagon at this time. And interestingly enough, the Fox News reporter who outed the SEAL Team 6 member just last year reported on the importance of keeping the team member's name secret. For obvious reasons, I'm not including this guy's name, his age, where he lives, anything like that, and I don't think other news organizations should.
I agree. No news source should reveal such information. Especially you.
Something the publisher of the book is hoping other news organizations will do as well when they release the statement. Mark Owen, like every SEAL he has served with, has put his life on the line time and time again for his country for more than a decade. Sharing the true story of his personal experience in No Easy Day is a courageous act in the face of obvious risks for his personal security. That personal security is the sole reason the book is being published under a pseudonym. We respectfully request that all news organizations and all Americans consider these facts when deciding whether to pursue or publicize his real identity. And honestly, I can't help but have the utmost respect for Mark Owen and the rest of the members of SEAL Team 6. I mean, obviously it boils down to what information information is in this book, but this guy has dedicated a huge portion of his life to defending this country. It's his story to tell. He's not trying to become famous, and a majority of the proceeds will go to charities to help the family members of fallen SEALs. And so, Nation, that was really the last thing I wanted to talk about today.
Oh, thank goodness Sxephil is finally done with his news stories, because the way he delivers the news stories is just boring.
Definitely contributes to the question of the day, which, if you remember, do you think having the ability to be anonymous is a good or a bad thing?
I think it's a very good thing. I'm glad nobody on the internet knows exactly where I live.
It's obviously a complicated issue, a gray area, but which way does it lean? Now remember to possibly get pelted in the face with that $100 Amazon gift card. Leave a comment down below, join the conversation, maybe click the like.
Actually, I think I'm going to press the dislike button because I really fucking hate you.
But if you really like it, favorite it, that'd be awesome. But of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love your faces, and I'll see you Sunday.
No, you will not see me Sunday because I won't watch you again by then. Now it's time for my overall thoughts on this video. I will give Sxephil a credit for one thing. He does pick up very interesting news stories in his videos. But the problem is the way he talks about those interesting stories just aren't very interesting. Yeah, I think he delivers the news in a very boring way. If I wanted to hear about the news, I'd watch fucking CNN. At least the news reporters there know how to talk about the news in an entertaining way. That's all I gotta say, people. Thank you for watching and have a great day.